Okay, so it's me again. I just watched my first video, and it's very surreal to watch yourself. And the other people on the internet who I've talked to about this were right. It's very therapeutic. So I'm just going to kind of keep going. I am going to tell a little bit about myself now, I think, and then I will talk about my journey to get to where I am today. My name is Mandy. I'm 27, and I am a teacher in Montana. I teach first grade, which I absolutely love, and my job is like my passion, and I'm very lucky to have found that at such a young age. I've been teaching for about 4 years. I live alone in my own little 2-bedroom apartment, and I am single. I think that I was kind of destined to go on this journey, and the reason I think that is it's making me a better person every day, and it's making me believe in myself again. And I also find myself talking to others who are on the same journey as I am, and it's nice to make that connection with people, and then to kind of pass it on that so many people have helped me in this journey, and maybe I can help somebody else too. I'm recording in my office. You can probably see my books and stuff behind me. There's also a treadmill there, but I don't use it. I am a member of a gym, and I work out there. So once the doctor kind of gave me that sort of ultimatum, I made my decision that I needed to start the process for gastric bypass. So I called our local weight management clinic and found out, this was in September, that there would be a big seminar that I had to go to first about weight loss surgery. Well, unfortunately, that was the evening of our open house for school, so I had to wait the longest month, or the longest month till then, to go to the next seminar. And at that seminar, the surgeon was there, a nurse was there that would be helping us, the nutritionist, all kinds of people were there to talk about the surgery and to answer questions, and just kind of as an informational meeting. After that meeting, they recommended we call our insurance company right away to find out if it would be covered under our policy, so we would know if we would need to be self-paid, if I would have to be self-paid, or if my insurance would cover it. Well, my insurance is okay, and luckily it does cover gastric bypass with lots of stipulations based on how heavy I would have to be, which I met. I'd have to get a psych eval, probably lots of things that other weight loss patients are finding. So I called the clinic and made my first appointment, kind of like a informational meeting. And that day I went and met with the nurse and brought all of my insurance stuff I could find, documentation that I had been obese for at least 5 years, attempts at weight loss. Luckily I had lots of Weight Watchers journals that I brought, those to show my weight and how long I was in it. I've been in Weight Watchers probably 8 or 9 times in the last 5 years. I also did LA weight loss. I tried on my own, working out at a couple different gyms, and I brought all of that with me to that meeting. And then I met with the doctor at the weight management clinic, and they took my initial weight. And it was shocking. It was definitely my highest weight ever. It was 290, and I'm only 5'2", so that's a lot of weight on a short person. At that time, I was wearing probably a 3X top and big 26 pants, so probably 28 pants, but they still said 26 on the label. But most of my other 26s in my closet didn't fit anymore. So after my starting weight, I knew I had to lose 10% of my weight. Now, I know some weight loss gastric programs, bariatric programs don't require that, but mine did. And at the time, I was like, yeah, I can do this, and then I'd be like, if I could lose weight, I'd do it on my own. But I knew in the end that I needed to show my dedication to this process. So they put me on a couple prescription medications to help curb my appetite, and I started like a 12 to 1400 calorie diet. I also had to go to support group meetings, nutrition classes, all kinds of things that my clinic requires. So then, after I met all those requirements, I met them probably in December. And I was hopeful that I could submit to insurance and get going. And by that time, I had probably lost about 18 pounds of my 29 required for my 10%. And I thought, oh, they'll be easy on my weight. You know, I've made an effort. They'll see that. And this was the beginning of December. And I met with the doctor, and they were not going to be easy on my weight. I had to lose the 10% over the holidays. So I was disappointed because since I'm a teacher, I wanted to have the surgery over Christmas vacation, but I became resigned to the fact that this isn't my plan and that I just kind of needed to surrender to the process. So over December, I worked my butt off. I had been going to my gym probably 2 times a week, 3 times a week, but then I really started going a lot. And I really watched my diet. I mean, of course I ate at Thanksgiving and at Christmas, but I really was dedicated to the process and eating healthy, and I ate my fruit and my vegetables and my protein and all of that. And so when I came back in January, I had made my weight, and it was very exciting. At that time, I thought, oh great, I can submit to insurance, and here we go. Well, they told me I had an irregular EKG. And I was kind of bummed because they didn't tell me. I had my EKG back in November, and I wish they had told me then so I could have gotten that squared away earlier in the process. But, so now everything was held up on this EKG. So I had to go to my regular personal doctor to have him maybe take a look at the EKG and then refer me on to a cardiologist. And of course that was a 2 or 3 week wait to get in with him. Once I went to him that day, I was so nervous. This was when I had really started having my depression, probably about 4 weeks earlier. And I was a wreck when I went in there. And that's when I got on antidepressants. And they did another EKG, which came out perfectly normal. So then I was set to go. Everything was ready, and they submitted to insurance. And they did it over, I think it was a 3-day weekend, so it might have been maybe President's Day at the beginning of February. I'm not quite sure. But it was a 3-day weekend. We submitted on Thursday, and on Tuesday I heard back that I was approved on the first shot. And I was pleasantly surprised. The whole time I had been wondering, what if I don't get approved? Can my union fight for me? I was really concerned because I'm single and I'm a teacher, and surgery is almost a whole year of my wages. So I was so excited when I got approved. So I went to my surgeon a week later, and my surgery date was set for March 31st. Now, I was disappointed because that was right at the end of February, and I knew I'd have a whole month to wait. And we had our spring break coming, and if I could have had it on my schedule, it would have been great to have it over spring break, which is right now. But I was just excited to have the opportunity and to be given this tool to change my life. So I was resigned to the fact that it was the 31st and started planning. Got my sub in line, started thinking about what my kids would do for those 2 weeks, how much time I would take off, everything. And the next day, I'm a planner if you couldn't tell, the next day my surgeon's office called me and said they would bump it up a week and a half to March 19th. So immediately I said yes. No second guessing, I was ready to go. And when I went to my support group meeting that night, the nurse was concerned about it because all this time I had been kind of mentally rehearsing and planning that she would be there with me the day of surgery. And I don't really know how big of an impact she would have on that day, but I thought that it would be huge, that she would be there with me and walk back with me and talk to my parents, and she couldn't be there for the first surgery on Wednesday mornings, so I'd have to go without her. And she said, if that's okay with you, that's fine with me, but I wasn't okay with it. I, of course, started crying because that's how I deal with everything. And the next day she called the surgeons, and luckily they scheduled me for a 10:30 scheduled time on the 19th. So I just started my liquid diet 2 days ago, which is really hard, but it's getting better. And I'm just getting ready, working out as much as I can, planning for my kids, doing report cards, all that good stuff, so that when I get admitted to the hospital that day, it can just be about me and not about anything else. So that's kind of my pre-op journey. And I think this is the only video I'll make tonight besides my first introduction one. And then I'll probably get on and kind of update on how I'm feeling and how the liquid diet's going and all that stuff. So, alright.